I'm joined tonight by the man who is tightening the screws on Maduro, Hans Humes. He's the chairman and CEO of Greylock Capital. Venezuela owes him and his associates a whole lot of money, billions of dollars. Hans, welcome. It's good to have you here. I know you want to get paid back. Obviously, all of you guys want to get paid back, although you did invest in Venezuela debt, so you must have a stomach of steel. But in order for you to get paid back, you need to see Venezuela actually get out on its own 2 feet, which I'd have to think means no more Maduro. What's your thought?
It's interesting. I mean, when Maduro came out and accused Bolton of planning an assassination, he also seemed to be asking, sort of plaintively, to have a discussion with our president. So the pressure the United States has been putting on through the sanctions seems to have worked. And I think it's up to us to see how much of an appetite there is for transition in Venezuela. Certainly on the street, there's a lot of appetite. I think Venezuelans...
I mean, the people of Venezuela, are they over it? They're sick of his regime, and they're probably sick of starving.
Venezuela has traditionally been one of the richest countries in Latin America. It's traditionally been one of our larger trading partners, especially with oil. And there's no question that, given the destitute nature of the economy right now, the best option for the country would be to normalize a relationship with us and recognize business interests and bring U.S. companies back in.
Well, and we want to be there because there's a ton of oil there. I've spent time in Venezuela, actually in the Orinoco region, and they have this amazing, really thick oil. It's like tar. I mean, you could take a coffee cup and, you know, put it upside down and nothing's going to come out. I mean, but it's extremely valuable, but only if you get the technology, by the way, to get it out of the ground, which American companies do have. But they kicked us all out. Why should we even want to go back, Hans?
Because if we don't go there, the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians will be there. And
they're already there, right?
They all are. You know, I have a friend who just came back who has, you know, family business there, and he said that he doesn't recognize the country. You know, there are Iranian, Russian planes at the airport there. So clearly, there's a legitimate reason for all the sanctions to be in place. And the question is, for us as a country, I mean, we need to put our interests first, obviously. Clearly, we want to be paid back, and I think we can align our interests with American companies when the Venezuelan government decides that they're going to stop playing around.
Which would actually be a win for the Venezuelan people, too, because if they had some investment there, they might actually not be struggling so severely. So let me ask you this. So the deadline's looming. I mentioned January 10th. The free world will no longer recognize Maduro as president. So what does that open him up to?
I think it opens them up to quite a bit of additional U.S. actions. It probably runs the gamut. There's a lot of different rumors, but quite honestly, I think it opens up an opportunity for us to see who is ready to walk away from this failed socialist experiment and come back into the free world.
Within the regime he has. I mean, other people that will say, okay, I'm defecting, no more. I mean, by the way, a lot of people, but you just met with the former head of the Supreme Court in Venezuela, who's in exile in Miami, and you get a lot of people in exile.
There's a government in waiting, and obviously any kind of transition would have to incorporate that, or just they would be the people that replace the current government. What's interesting is, I think at some level the Venezuelan government now realizes they need to do business with the U.S.
Oh, yeah, it would be logical. I don't think that the Chinese, given the economic pressure they're under, or the Iranians, or the Russians, frankly, are going to be it. The U.S. is still it.
To your point, the U.S. companies are the best in the world in the oil industry.
Well,
we're the only guys who can really refine their product.
You know, maybe they'll start getting some sense. We'll see.
I would hope so.
Hans, good to see you. Thank you. We'll keep following the story.